Hey my friends, I want to talk to you today about the fact that YouTube has kind of stolen my passion. YouTube has absolutely changed me. If you watch my videos from the very beginning, I spoke with such authority and I was passionate about what I spoke, and sometimes here anymore it's just not that. And something huge has changed. I have been thinking about this and mulling this over for some time. The bugs are screaming outside. And I'm going to tell you what YouTube has changed me in this aspect. I have been YouTubing now for 3 or 4 years. When I first began YouTubing, there was about 3 or 4 homeschool moms on YouTube talking homeschool stuff. And in my tiny little world on things, I was passionate to share with you how to do everything and what was right, to some degree. I had a lot of morning coffee chats, and I still try to maintain that kind of morning coffee chat. So along the way, and I guess publicly sharing it has made it much more evident, I know what works for me. I know what works in my homeschool family. I know what I'm wrestling with now. I can't tell you how many times I want to say, I have this process and this is what's going to work. I found a curriculum and this is what we're going to use for the rest of our homeschool life. This is going to be phenomenal. This is how you solve ADHD. This is how you solve living in a tiny house. This is how your 5 things you have to do every morning. You know, and the world is full of this. And I think that has kind of helped me change. Or how many times I'm like, I have found a solution only for that solution to kind of not work after 3 or 4 weeks. And then kind of feel embarrassed. I'm not going to even lie. Just like feel embarrassed about it. And it's so funny because when I go and I look on YouTube and I look for homeschool moms, I'm not looking for anybody to give me the answers. There's my dog. Real life of a YouTuber. I'm not looking for anybody to be like, these are the 5 things you need to do. There was a time in the beginning I was like, yeah, I need 5 things. But not any, I don't know, not anymore.
I put in another one.
Okay.
It's a vegetable one.
Okay. I might be letting my little one watch Netflix while I make this video, because that's real life. So Pinterest is full of it. They even tell you like analytics, and I got really into analytics too. So analytics is like how to make your video the best, or how to make your pin pinnable, and there's this whole like movement, and how to make thumbnails. And like I was in it, I was learning to make my thumbnails better so that you'll want to click on my thumbnails, and to give you how to do something. But the more I've shared with you as we have these conversations, and I feel like to me they're conversations. I'm not here to lecture you. I'm just here to share my life. I had to like rethink about my YouTubing, because where was I going with that? Because I have ADHD. Am I here to have a business? You see, it's fun to YouTube. I have enjoyed connecting with people I've never met that have watched when I go to conferences out of state. I love it. I can't begin to tell you how many times I've had somebody be like, I've seen you. And that's so much fun. And it's so much fun, the conversations we have on here because of this post. But there's a lot of moms that come on here and they're like, we're going to make money. I've made some money. I don't do this as a business. Let me tell you something. Isn't that nice? My daughter told me I should wear that 3-year-old daughter. It's picking out my hair accessories. If I wanted to do this as a business, I make way more money bringing in a baby to babysit in more class to do it. In fact, you know, I was trying to really up my game for my videos and make my videos look really amazing and really noticeable and stuff, and that's a lot of work. In fact, that's why you're not getting these like little 10-15 minute unedited blurbs, because at this point, if you want anything from me, this is how you're gonna get it. So YouTube changed me. I've lost my passion on just being a know-it-all. Well, I said, let me just qualify that. I am a know-it-all. I do know it all. I just know it all for my life, not necessarily yours. And what I consider to be standards of excellence for my children actually vary with each and every child that I have, and what one person's excellence isn't another child's excellence. And what's the standard of excellence in my home and at my expectation doesn't mean it's yours. Yeah. I've gotten to the point, and this has been, in fact, this was a conversation today, that I kind of miss the 90s mom, and I wish I was the 90s mom. And what's the difference between the 90s mom and the 2010 mom? And what's so different? And we all kind of point back to this, like YouTube, or not YouTube, social media, the internet, smartphones. I didn't realize it until it was brought to me today. My children have never lived in a world without a smartphone. Now, my children aren't smartphone. They don't have phones or any of that stuff, but they have tablets. They have a high running computer program in a tiny little, even my phone is more of a computer program than I had in my house when I graduated high school. And this was a discussion like 10 years ago we had of like, well, how dangerous could it be to be this connected to the unknown? And now, like, you hop in cars with people you don't know with Uber. But I wonder if the constant expectation, you know, it's the best way for me to kill my love of my curriculum. I've talked about this before, Pinterest. The fact that I can get on the internet and look and quickly consume so much information that I'm not really diving into it, but just quickly consume so much information that I'm making rash decisions without realizing they're rash, because I feel like I've done a lot of research. But I did a lot of research in 2 days and I just made a new decision without taking the time. And there's something to that slow process. And I'm not, you know, slow movement. Let's start the slow life movement. And here you are watching me, and I'm like, hey, let's get on social media. So YouTubing for the last 3 years, this last year has been a struggle. In fact, the last year and a half has been a struggle. At one point, I was trying to YouTube every day, and now my new mode of you're going to get what you get. Don't throw fits. With love. Bless your heart. Anyways, that was a joke. Is I'm just going to do what I can when I can. I want to be here to encourage you. And I don't want to be here to encourage you because I have the answers. I mean, listen, I don't even have the answers on losing weight. Did you not see how much quickly I can blow up and get skinny and blow up and get skinny because I can't even maintain my weight? I don't have the answers for potty training except do what works for you. I don't have the answers of how to teach a child to read by kindergarten because I've never done that. I just want to be an inspiration, because one of the hardest things that I struggle with is, am I enough? I know in God's eyes I am, and I'm good. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of stuff being crammed in us and expectations, and some of it's just making a beautiful picture that will question, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing enough? And I want you to come here and go, you know what? Giving it the best you got is enough. Just finding happiness. And this is kind of, and this comes from so many different places. And I feel like YouTube does a good job about this. But one of the big things I love about YouTube versus like real life mommy co-ops, just saying, not insinuating anything. But there's this idea, mommy, YouTube homeschool moms, let's just do that, are good at just like finding good things that work. I don't feel like we have an overachiever mentality. Well, we have some overachiever mentalities and look and organize, and we kind of have some of that. But we don't have a lot of my kids better than your kid. One of my favorite parts about the homeschool mom YouTube movement is it's us moms. We're not parading our kids around like, look how great they are. Look at, you know, we're kind of more or less doing that with our mommyhood versus our children's childhood, I feel like. Now, there's mom channels that are probably different, but on the homeschool YouTube mom realm that I visit, it doesn't have that. But it can get really crazy about worrying about your child's academic excellence versus their moral and character. And I kind of run into, and it gets back to, why do you homeschool? I'm not trying to outdo the school. I don't, you know, I definitely was the student that was under the radar. And one of the things, as we're like approaching high school next year, is going in and saying, you're doing better than me and I made it, you'll be fine. And that's enough. And like, that's where my line of excellence is. Maybe that doesn't sound fantastic and like inspiring, but it's just like, I want for you the opportunities I had, because I like the opportunities I got. Some of them were a struggle, they were messy, they were easy, but there's nothing, they weren't easy, but everything's messy. You know, it wasn't this picture of amazingness. I mean, I didn't even apply to a college. I graduated high school, and after a week I got bored and I said, I'll go to the community college. And I went to the community college. I did my thing. I almost flunked out of my bachelor's degree when I transferred to a university. It was a culture shock. Got it together. Got in for a master's degree. Not beautifully, by the skin of my teeth. I got all of that. And I didn't apply to a single college in high school. I took an ACT. I didn't take the SAT. I think, in fact, I was signed up for it and I skipped it. I didn't review any words. I didn't take Latin. I think there was some physics of a class. I don't even remember if there was. I wasn't doing calculus, any of that mess. You know, I just kind of went in as I was. And sometimes we get so distracted with a sense of, I got to make a valedictorian before my kid's even in college or whatever. And it's just like, you know what? I want this time with my kids. So anyways, YouTube has changed me. I'm only here to share with you our journey. I don't have anything figured out. And I might share with you a curriculum, and next week I might not be using it. I wish I could do it differently. I wish I didn't have ADHD at times, that I could stay focused. But the reality is, me and my kids get bored. All of us have ADHD. We've had one obstacle in front of the other, and we're just doing the best we can. And if you go back and watch some of my old videos, I might come off as a know-it-all that knows everything about your home and how to do it right. I just only know what's working in mine. So there you go. I'll see you later. I love you guys.